Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Star Wars: Force of Evil, and Samurai Jack, among others. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
Today, Delaney and I will be discussing the surprise drop of Rick and Morty Season 3 premiere. I don't even know what the episode title is called, and I don't know how we would know, but the first episode, Adult Swim, Beyonce style, dropped it at 8 o'clock on April 1st. Not really an April Fool's joke, like, it's
real?
Yeah, it's real and it happened, and...
I guess it's April Fool's because they're obnoxious, so they just dropped it like Beyonce.
I guess if any show would do that, it's this one.
No, 1,000%.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, if this is a good idea. But I guess it is. I guess this is a good way to get hype. Just do the first episode like this and then wait for the summer for the rest. Yeah.
I feel like this would only work for this show, though.
Yeah. This show's type of fans and like the buzz that it generates and like the cult following. Yeah.
Because you can't do this with like a cartoon, like a kid's cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think it's funny that it's on the same numbered network that also surprise drop shows, but not intentionally. Like,
amazing.
Yeah, it's great. This is not a Cartoon Network type screw up. This is this is
intentional.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just an interesting decision. But yeah, we're discussing this premiere. If you haven't seen it yet, so Adult Swim's running it all tonight, but I assume you're listening to this later than that, and it's on your website streaming. Spoilers, it's been a year and a half more than that since the season 2 finale of Rick and Morty. Delaney and I covered all of season 2. We cover Rick and Morty here in the Overly Animated Podcast. If you've never heard us before, you can check us out at overlyanimated.com. Or subscribe to us on iTunes at overlyanimated.com/iTunes. Our Rick and Morty discussions are, get the explicit, check mark on iTunes. So, we're discussing a non-kid friendly show, so not kid friendly discussions here. Yeah, let's get into it. Spoilers. Make sure you watch the premiere. Genuinely a lot of plot stuff happens.
It's a lot.
Like more than the first 2 seasons combined. Like, Delaney, what's your overall reaction to this season premiere?
Well, a lot of it was just like legitimate straight up shock. And then it's great. Like, I don't know, like I think it's everything we were kind of waiting for Rick and Morty to do, and they just did it in one episode, and it was like, okay, fine, this is great. I mean, it's really fast paced, but it's not too fast. I really enjoyed it. I really loved the kind of focus and framing around Summer, because Summer was a very minor character in season 1 and then became really, she became, main character number 3 in season 2. So it's really nice to and also finally to bring Summer into everything that has really happened. Like Summer had missed out on a lot and kind of like we're tying everything kind of together. Also, bye, Jerry. Bye. Bye.
Finally it happened. Yeah. They just threw that in at the end, like, not even I think the first reaction for me is like, first of all, like, what are they doing? They really just randomly aired it. They also have to not air Samurai Jack tonight too, so they just removed another airing of the show, it seems like. But is as far as we'll see how that episode goes. But that's the first reaction. My second reaction is then like we speculated, like, this is a major talking point last season. Like, the show could build a more cohesive mythology that, like, intertwines all this random one-off episode plot stuff they did. And they did that, and they went all in one episode. Like, they combined the alternate dimension Rick and Morty's, which I think was just contained to one episode. If not, maybe we referenced it other times. We brought back the bodies buried in the backyard. Delaney must have freaked at that. What was your reaction to that?
They're my fave. Like, yeah. I that sounds really weird, but like, that was like,
yeah.
Like, we've had one callback to that, and like, to have it again, it's like, yes. And like, we literally digged them up. Like, that was like crazy. Like, oh my God.
I never thought of this application of that the portal gun is.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Like, when they pulled it out, I was like, oh my God. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I guess you wouldn't have needed to bury the portal gun, but that makes sense. It's another way to get them to be able to dimension hop without Rick being there. Yeah. We combine that, all the Galactic Federation stuff, and we just continue the finale, and we
call back to Kronigsberg Earth.
Yeah.
Coinberg, I
don't even remember that much, honestly, but yeah, it's, apologies if we get anything wrong. It's been like 2 years, so, but,
long time.
Yeah, and, yeah, so they just did that and they just do it all in one episode. And I'm like, wow, this is kind of crazy. Like, is this the new reality for this show? Or was this just a one-off, thing to continue? Like, the most plot-heavy episode previously was last season's finale. So it kind of makes sense to continue it in this way. But, it's crazy how much plot there is here.
Like, we just, like, blew this show wide open.
I think probably we're not gonna be just a continuous plot show. Like, I think this could be the start of a shift, but I'd have to imagine every episode's not gonna be as crazy as this one.
Well, when you think about it, like, they kind of, like, blew it all up so they don't have to have a cohesive plot. But by that same token, like, we're clearly beginning this kind of, like, Morty versus Rick kind of thing. Granted, it's also been building. Like,
yeah, I feel like the show's definitely tried that before, and I guess we're gonna keep going in that direction type thing. That's kind of like a shocking scene of Rick yelling at Morty at the end,
right?
And yeah, all the summer stuff was good, and just and by the way, we're finally divorcing the Jerry and Beth. Like, really? That we're gonna just tack that on at the end? What a major plot thing here. That we could have done this any of many episodes where Jerry's being ridiculous, but
every single one.
But yeah. So yeah, I think this is like good, like genuinely good action sci-fi TV. Which is kind of the realm that the season 2 finale was in. It's like, I think both that episode and this episode are not that funny, but, like this episode's main purpose is not to be funny, which I think is a divide for this show. I think, almost every episode you could argue that Wedding Squanchers, but I still think that's primary purpose is to be funny. This, right. The primary purpose here is just to like tell this crazy, mythology driven story. And like the jokes are kind of secondary. And that's for me, this is like the weirdest episode of Rick and Morty because.
And the plot isn't the joke.
Yeah, and the plot is just played straight. Like, yeah, ridiculous things are happening, but so much of it is just, we're taking it genuinely at face value here. And it's very weird. Like, I think it like feels normal because this is how most shows are, but it's not how this show is.
No, this is not how Rick and Morty operates at all.
Yeah. And I think so. I think it's definitely super different and that's important to acknowledge. I'm not upset at that. Like, I think this was great TV here. I wouldn't want every episode to be like this though.
Yeah, it kind of would like lose its Rick and Morty-ness.
Yeah, like I think this is like a bottom 5 funny episode. I mean, people might disagree. I don't know. We just like watched it once and are reacting, you know. But I thought like the stuff with the Mulan sauce was really good.
No, that was really, and then the flies, like that's probably my favorite gag of the episode is the flies.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, and then at the end, he's gonna driven by finding that McNugget sauce. If it takes 9 seasons, 97 more years. Yeah,
it's so good.
That was really good. Yeah, and the stuff with Shoney's is funny, but like other than that, there's not a lot there that I wrote down joke wise. So it's, yeah, and I'm not like complaining, but yeah, I think I probably would not like any other, even most episodes of the show, reverse that, to be this realm. But I think it's appropriate given a few things, given what we set up in last season's finale, given the fact that this is a way for them to like change the dynamics of the show without like making it overall more plot oriented, like just get it done right away. And it also just really works, given like the giant layoff, in time. Like it's like, wow, we're back and we did so much. Like this is hype.
Yeah, no, it's like we're like, and also like we can start from somewhere.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
There isn't this weird like it's been so long, but then we're getting thrown straight in, so that way it's not as awkward when like I don't know, like we can go anywhere now and it's not going to be like weird.
Yeah, what else? What could we do at this point that would be shocking? Yeah.
Yeah. No. But I do agree. I don't think, I want, like, it's just really weird. This is probably the only show that we're like, we want less plot. But, it's not, like, this is literally the only show where we're like, less plot. But, it's just because, like, Rick and Morty takes the concept to absurdity, but then, like, it works so well. Like, the episodes are genuinely interesting. They're funny. They're great sci-fi things. And, like, there is a lot of action, even when they're, like, really dumb episodes. But they're legitimately hilarious, and none of them seem, like, pointless.
Yeah, none of them. Yeah, I agree. This show doesn't do filler like other shows do. This show is it's like the filler is the reason why you watch type of thing. Was this episode overwhelming? Was there too many things happening? Too many sci-fi concepts? Too many like action movie concepts coming into play?
I'm gonna go with no, mainly because the big ones we've already seen.
Yeah,
specifically in the show.
Like it merged elements from other episodes that we'd already done. Yeah.
Like all the Ricks, and then like the portal gun, and then it was kind of funny like going into like the dimension thing. Also, like I thought the Galactic Federation thing was really like at first it seemed kind of like rushed, but when you think about it, it's not like we had a lot of like background on the Galactic Federation and stuff. So I think it made sense to kind of like flash through that stuff.
Yeah, I had the same thought process actually. I was like, wow, really, we're just dismantling the entire space government, and then I was like, oh, we just never really saw it, so who cares?
Yeah, so it was like, oh, it's fine. Also, it was like funny watching him do it, and like every time he was like, I'm gonna take a shit. That was probably also like really good. Really think.
I remember him saying that once. Was it multiple times?
No, he said it multiple times.
Okay.
Like every time he switched to body, he was like, "I'm gonna go take a shit." Like he was really good. Like I don't know, it was just so dumb.
I guess that makes sense. If your mind enters someone else's body, then you take over their physical needs. I don't know if that's the concept, but yeah, that was
really funny, dude. Yeah. Like he did it like 3 or 4 times, and it was really good.
Yeah, this episode was a lot. It was a little bit hard for me to follow at times, but I mean, certainly, I think that we can coherently discuss it after one viewing, and it's gonna be fine. But
considering I was like running around my dorm, like trying to watch this and trying not to yell at people in the basement because they were being loud.
Yeah,
I completely enjoyed this episode and understood everything that was going on, so that was pretty good considering panic. I was in panic Delaney mode.
Yeah,
but everything was fine.
No one knew this was even happening until after the episode started airing. That's an interesting decision. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of the stuff had varying levels of success. I think everything they did worked. At least a little. But I think, like the body swapping, I think was pretty fast. And also the currency changing type crashing sequence. I think those were successful, but not like super successful.
Yeah.
And I think the way they incorporated, all the Ricks, I don't know, there's so much. And there was a solid 5 minutes where we thought we'd seen, the Ricks backstory. And he's like, no, it's fake with Diane. And, I don't know if had we heard this name before? Is this a real person or is this completely fake?
I mean, I don't quite remember. Like, I don't feel like they say her name. Like, we know it's like Beths Mom, but like,
yeah, I don't remember, but we saw it.
They got me. Like, I was like, so I actually had seen part, like, I was trying not to, but obviously I had seen like part of the episode because we were trying to like get to the channel.
Yeah.
And then we had an issue because like, for whatever reason, the sound on the TV didn't work. Okay. But stupid dorm. Yeah. But, so I had seen like Diane and Beth. I didn't see like what happened to them, but I saw like them. So I was like, oh my God, are we going to find stuff out? And of course the way they were talking about it, this is the most Rick and Morty thing ever. Like that was just so rude.
It was very rude. It just blow them up with this random bomb and then like, nope. And then, we don't even get the real backstory. Yep.
Well, it's really great though, because it's like this episode is just it's just constantly reinforcing how much of a dick like Rick is. Like Rick is not a good person. And like, like when you go through the episode and you're like, oh yeah, like you're like, yeah, Rick. And then you're like, yeah, Summer. And then you're like, no, wait. No, Rick sucks. I forgot. Like,
I don't think I forgot that. Yeah, let's yeah, so I think both Rick, Morty, and Summer all have interesting kind of arcs this episode. Yeah, so you can talk about Rick. I don't know, like, would you think that there's like an overall takeaway from Rick here, other than like, wow, I forgot how Ricky is. Yep.
I think I don't know, like, I guess that might be the major takeaway is that like, yes, like, I mean, this show was always like this. Like Rick he's not a good person. Like he's really smart, and sometimes he does things that you think are like altruistic, and you also never know when he's telling the truth ever. Yeah. So I think it's just another one of those I think it's kind of one of those the doctor first rule, the doctor always lies, like that kind of thing. The doctor lies. So like that's like it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Though I do think it's a really good reminder, and like. It's also kind of like you don't know what's coming. We don't know what's going on. You never know what's going on with Rick. And granted, I can kind of see there might be kind of a like we might be like they literally say like it's gonna be like the darkest season, but they also like just say stuff. But
yeah, they did say that.
I could kind of see it going kind of like on like Rick goes on a power trip.
Yeah, that seems like that's what he was doing here. So I could definitely see that. By the way, do you think that this was were you satisfied with this as a follow-up to the season 2 finale? My answer to this would be I don't remember that much from the season 2 finale, so I don't have an answer for this, but do you have an answer?
Well, I think it's kind of like, I would have to rewatch it, but I guess like emotionally, I would say yes and no. Because like, you know, you're kind of like, oh my God, Rick just turned himself in and like this, and this, and you think he's gonna like, and it's kind of like Summer being like, you know, Rick's a hero and this, and this. And we had a big discussion, I think, about like, we're always discuss Rick's morality and like, you know, the morality in Rick and Morty and like what's going on. And I think like this, like, so we have the episode and, you know, Rick is like doing stuff and he like, you know, they keep calling him a terrorist, but then it's also like, well, the Galactic Federation kind of sucks. Like it's awful. And then you have, like we literally get to see how it's like on Earth with the Galactic Federation. We see the Galactic Federation like as the Galactic Federation, like Star Trek, like Empire style, and then but so I guess it's more of like we see Rick doing bad things, but then it's also like Rick's still kind of like he's still the hero of Rick and Morty, kind of like he's the main character. Yeah. We have all this, so I think kind of emotionally it is satisfying in that, like, we see Rick, like, we see Rick actually take down the Galactic Federation because we started to get into that in, like, towards the end of the season, like, in the season finale, we like, why the Ricks are, like, after this Rick, like, what this Rick is, like, this Rick is the terrorist, like, this is the Rick they all fear and stuff, and, like, the Galactic Federation, and then, but then also on the other side of that, like, Rick does some awful things in this episode, and it's not just that, like, the way he talks to Morty and the whole, like, standoff with him and Summer and like all of that. So I think it's kind of like emotionally yes and no. The show's just so complicated with how it does all this and like how you're supposed to feel about Rick.
Yeah, we'll need time to process for sure. I think that in the season 2 finale, we expected us to go in like an introspective Rick kind of, because he turned himself in and you're like, oh, is this, you know, is this like, are we like going good guy Rick direction? They kind of go the opposite here, I think.
Right.
Which is an interesting direction. It's like, did they intend this or they just reversing course? Like, do we even have a plan? But
I mean, we could be going somewhere though with Rick's character. Like
we could still be doing it. Yeah. Yeah. But, it's, I feel like this is not what we expected at all coming out of the season 2 finale.
No, I don't think so.
And I'm fine with the direction we're going. This took us to a place after one episode where we can go back, we can get right into like the crazy good episodes. So, and not be like hindered by some narrative, plot, direction that we're in. So I like that. Morty, this episode. So, he was just, so what's the takeaway? He was pretending to hate Rick to protect Summer, and then he was being yelled at by Rick at the end.
Yes. I mean, well, he's, as per usual, Morty's like the wet blanket of the episode. But, I don't know, Morty, like, I appreciated the role Morty played, and like, Morty was, like, granted, this is also typical Morty. Like, this is Morty who's kind of bitter from all the adventures and like the burden of everything that Morty knows that other people do not know. And, you know, particularly Summer.
Yeah.
But then, of course, there is still, I mean, he does still, like, love his grandfather, and they, like, go on adventures. I don't know, it's kind of, the end of the episode leaves us in a weird place, so we'll just kind of have to see what's gonna happen.
We don't see Morty's reaction to what Rick's saying at the end, so.
And it's not like Morty has ever really been like, he was kind of gung-ho for, like, adventures for, like, a little bit, but then for the most part, it was, like, he's always dragged along. So it's not really like the status quo is changing that much. It's just more of like maybe how Morty will react to things and maybe like Morty taking charge.
Yeah, it seems like this is similar to where we were before, but will Morty resent Rick for this? Right. Yeah, well, and we will see.
Specifically, the whole like divorce thing. Like I think that's really gonna.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big factor on him as well. Yeah, and Summer. Big Summer episode. What's the take? Where do we leave off with Summer? I don't even know.
Well, I'm really excited. Like, I'm really happy about, like, I was really excited all in season 2 where Summer was going on adventures and Summer being Summer because Summer is awesome. And, like, I think we brought Summer to an interesting place in that she's kind of like Morty sort of beginning of season 1. This kind of, like, doesn't really know what's going on, isn't, like, completely bitter about, like, everything Rick has, like, put her through, because she hasn't really been through the things Morty has been through. So I think we might kind of have, like, a role reversal kind of deal, like, you know, Summer kind of, like, maybe goes on more adventures instead of Morty, and I don't know. And she doesn't really seem that impacted by the looming divorce.
Yeah.
So I don't think Summer cares.
That'll be interesting. Season 2 definitely a big summer season, and I think we go an interesting place with her character. Jerry, so he, I love that he just instantly becomes a cog in the Galactic Federation.
Like, of course he does.
Bureaucracy. It's really great.
And that line where he was like, you know, if you don't really know what you want to do with your life, it's it's okay.
Okay, Jerry, yeah. And they're like taking pills and stuff, yeah. And then at the end, just very quickly, the divorced. Is this gonna hold? Are they really getting divorced?
Okay, so like Jerry literally cannot survive on his own. Like, he sucks. Like, he can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, Beth is honestly better off without him, but don't really know how that's really going to play out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's kind of going to be like a Morty, like, goes with Jerry. And that's the other thing, too, is like, are we going to have like a Rick and Morty, like, custody battle? Like, are we going to have like a court episode? Like, how far is this going to go?
Probably not. We had Lawyer Morty.
True.
I liked that.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll just I definitely think Jerry will be absent for a while. I can see us having kind of like really depressing but mildly hilarious, like, we're gonna have Jerry adventures, but he's on his own and like doing dumb things because like his life is sad. So
yeah, I'm worried this will just lead to more Jerry instead of
I'm only same. That's my concern.
That's the problem here. Yeah.
But it also like it could be like, I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine them writing Jerry off the show. But I could also see them like they could do that. Like, that could be what they're doing. But
yeah. I don't think so, but who knows? We really don't know where we're going with this. At the beginning we have Rick with the agent in the thing voiced by Nathan Fillion. I thought that they were good, I guess. It was kind of jarring to like jump right in. It's like, oh, we're like in Rick's mind and we're doing that whole type of thing. I like that we're in the Shoney's. I think that worked. I think that's good.
Really good. Like, as someone who like, I'm one of those people who like likes going to Shoney's and then is mocked for going to Shoney's. So like, it's like, it was just funny. Like, Shoney's is just hilarious.
Yeah, it's good.
The only way it could be better is if they were like in Denny's.
Yeah. Similar, I assume, but yeah, that whole sequence good. We have I don't know, there's a lot. We talked about the bodies, the Hunger Games summer.
I really like that was a good line.
Yeah, that's good. The other Rick's trying to assassinate the current Rick and breaking in there, and like this. I want to say, like, what do you think of this as like all being part of Rick's plan, like turning himself in, like that aspect?
I mean, I think I feel like we've like there's definitely precedents for this. Like like the I can't remember. Like it was literally the same situation. Like they were in his head. Like they had him trapped in this like simulate. Oh, well, they weren't in his head. They were trapped in that. They were trapped in that simulation. And like Jerry was having like the best day ever. He's So I think that was probably like I thought it was fine. It worked, and I definitely think especially with the precedence of that particular episode with the simulation and him like. But this is basically it's the same thing that happened. Like he gave them the wrong thing, and it like blows them all up. So, but it worked. But it was different enough that it like worked really well. And
it seems similar to but yeah, I think it was good. Yeah, and he starts jumping, and it's all and he's trying to get the level 9 access, and what do you think of this the currency thing that happened at the end with he destroys the galactic government by changing a 1 to a 0.
Okay, that was like really funny.
Like pretty like on the nose satire here.
Like literally like in the sinuses.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. Like I mean I liked it.
Single centralized galactic currency. Yeah, good idea. Yeah.
Who are we targeting with this?
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, there's that whole thing. What do you think of the stuff on the Citadel with like the Council of Ricks and they're on trial and stuff?
Oh, I feel like it was like good character moments for like Morty and Summer. And then it was like funny, like Lawyer Morty, and then like just it was nice seeing the Council of Ricks again. Like it's funny callbacks, and then they all died, so it was fine.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about it being a fake out with the origins. We didn't talk about seeing younger Rick. That was a big deal.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I used to wear blue pants. That was good.
That's the only difference. Yeah. I would like to get into the actual backstory. Is that real Diane? Like,
well, that's the thing I like to think too, is there probably was there really a reason that he left that he can't talk about?
Yeah.
And then it's clear he he led that guy on this crazy mental goose chase. Mm-hmm. But what if there was that maybe there and this is kind of also I'm really excited that we had Phoenix person. We can talk about that next.
Yeah.
But I think this kind of goes back to what does wubble of a dub dub mean, and what is he hiding? Rick's always hiding something. So
yeah,
how close to the truth is that?
Yeah, that's my what I want to know now. After that, yeah. Yeah, since you mentioned it, the ending, the post-credit sequence, we see Tammy, which I was very excited about.
Super yeah. The Galactic Federation Tammy.
Yeah, I guess she was Galactic Federation. That was the season, yeah. And then Bird Person wasn't, right?
Right, no, Bird Person was dead.
They're reconstructing him.
They Darth Vadered Bird Person.
Okay, I guess that's exactly what happened, yeah.
That's what happened, oh my god. Yeah. I love how she climbs on and they just fly away, that was so good.
Yeah, Phoenix Person, no, I thought we went with Cyberbird.
Okay, I think Phoenix Person's still better than
Phoenix Person's better, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, Cyberbird, yeah. But, I'm excited as a potential Tammy antagonist this season. That'd be great.
Yes.
Big Tammy fan, yeah.
Also, just Bird Person, Phoenix Person is just great. That's quality character.
Yeah. Bird Person is such a good character, so I'm glad that we are continuing the Bird Person journey.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think of this hostage sequence with our Rick and then another Rick, and this whole thing with the fake gun and trying to convince him that he doesn't care about Summer?
Well, I saw it as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, he's supposed to shoot him. Okay, I figured that out. And then I don't know, it was I also couldn't figure out who was who at first. I was maybe he's the other Rick. That could have happened. But I mean, it was definitely interesting and very, I don't know, it was just a super typical Rick and Morty scene, kind of they all yelled at Morty and then just the banter back and forth. I think I guess the big thing to draw from is what we're gonna deal with is Morty he didn't see it because Morty's dumb, and he actually he wanted to kill Rick, or at least that was his impulse. He did that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the real big kind of takeaway. And I'm not sure exactly if we're really going to revisit that or really think about it anymore. But that was definitely oh man.
Yeah, I think it was a good sequence. He was pretty typical, yeah. But it was pretty tropey for the show, but it also packed a lot into it. So
no, it was it was really good, and yeah. I definitely think we haven't really had a scene like that before in Rick and Morty.
Yeah, it was good. Jerry's going to spend some time divorced. That's good phrasing, yeah. So what? Okay, this Rick's whole thing at the end. So he's Jerry crossed me. Darkest year of our adventures. He made him and the government go A. So that's his entire thing. What do you think of him being driven to eliminate Jerry?
I don't know. I don't know if I buy it.
Yeah, I don't buy it either. That seems so specific. I feel like Rick wouldn't think of Jerry that much.
Right. I don't know if there's some sort of what is the other plan? I don't know. It's not obviously Rick doesn't like Jerry and Jerry doesn't like Rick, but it's Jerry's literally harmless. He can't do anything.
Yeah, I always thought Rick more just didn't think of Jerry rather than.
No, he just didn't care. Jerry. He was just you're there, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if there's what this will play in some sort of larger plan Rick has, or if it was just kind of a consequence.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I don't really know where we're going with that, but it drives change in Jerry and his arc, so I think that's a good thing. That's interesting that's a motivator for Rick.
Right, I really don't buy it as a motivator, but I guess I feel kind of Rick. This kind of what happened in the episode is Rick planned this out so well. He knew how everyone was going to react, except for Morty and Summer. He wasn't anticipating them like coming to try and rescue him. Like that like changed his plan and he had to like improvise from there. But like, I don't know, like what if this is some sort of like, maybe he needs Morty to hate him? He needs like...
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, he like, Rick plays like the longest of games, so...
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I'd necessarily buy all of this being part of the plan. So I think it's interesting to see how much he's just making up as he goes along. He clearly presents it as it all being part of the plan, but I don't know if that's
right.
If that's true.
And then it's also like, I just don't really know like why, like, Jerry doesn't need to be gone for them to do what they've been doing, so I don't really know, like...
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know what the end game is.
I don't know what the purpose is, yeah. What do you think of this being the darkest year of adventures?
I can see why. Like, they've definitely set it up well.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm not sure dark how. Like, I don't really think we're going, like, I don't think we're going into the, like, one, we can't really, it's not like we're going to kill a bunch of people. We do that all the time anyway. Like, so I guess it's more of, like, I guess thematically, maybe we're going a little bit more Black Mirror-ish in that, like, the actual implications of what we're doing and, like, kind of, like, this, like, the science fiction tropes. Yeah. Or if there's really, like, maybe this is, like, Rick's spiral, like, character-wise. Yeah. Not really sure.
That'd be interesting if I going in this dark direction for Rick. I think it's an interesting concept. How are we getting darker than the burying the bodies? Like
exactly. And that's my thing. It's like, when like a show like Ruby's like, it's going to be darker. It's like, okay, you're going to start killing people, whatever. Yeah. But, it's like...
The show's already, already
it's really hard to imagine like this show being darker. Like this is a very like dark, like there are a lot of the humor is dark like most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we get our, as we discussed, we get our kind of our Community 6 seasons in a movie moment where, Rick says, I'm driven by finding that, sauce if it takes 9 seasons. Not 97 years. Yeah, that's good. They already kind of called that out with poopy pants in the finale. Yeah. So on it taking forever. Yeah. So that's good. And then the promo that aired after the episode was like something with Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick. I'm a pickle. That was really funny.
It's like, okay, that seems typical. And they say coming this summer. So, who knows? We'll see when that it specifically means.
But... I hope June, but let's probably bank on July.
Well, we'll see. It's you think they'd have a date if they just dropped it and then
right? Yeah, but, like it's Rick and Morty, so who knows?
So who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Rick and Morty Twitter says, "Please God, I don't ask for much. Please let us gain enough cultural influence to force McDonald's into bringing back that fucking sauce."
Okay, that's funny.
That's their takeaway.
That's pretty good.
There's a link to a commercial of it from 1998. Yeah. Mulan is pretty stupid commercial. Yeah.
That's amazing.
They always find some stupid, past cultural thing. This like super small thing. It's pretty typical for the show. Overall, happy with this as the premiere and, overall quality assessment.
Okay. I think I'm just mainly in shock, but I do think I am satisfied with this episode. I'm just really excited that Rick and Morty's back. Like, finally there's been something. Like, I'm glad there was an episode instead of just like, oh, we have a date now. Like, it's really nice to have this episode, and then even though we have to wait a little bit more, like, to actually have a Rick and Morty episode is pretty great. And it was awesome. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot. It was just, like, super jam-packed. It kind of felt more like, the finale in this episode. It's like, it's like a Rick and Morty movie. Like, it was like, let's go, like, full-on Mission Impossible nonsense with Rick and Morty in space. Yeah. But, and I'm just really excited to see where we're going. I'm not really sure where we're going, but it's Rick and Morty. This is probably, of all the shows we cover, I'm most comfortable with how Rick and Morty handles Rick and Morty, so...
Yeah. I'm most confident with the direction of the show. Definitely. Like, we don't need to doubt, whether we'll get good episodes.
Like, we can go up, but there's like, it's not like I really, like, we don't have to go up because I feel like we're pretty up. Like,
yeah. Already a great show. Already a top tier animation show. Yeah. I thought this was a good premiere. I loved it for what it was. I don't know how much of a burning desire I have to rewatch this one specifically as opposed to some of the other episodes, I guess. And I don't want every episode to be this episode, but I also doubt that will happen.
I think this episode's mainly like, this is kind of like the most shock factor episode of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
like, usually the plot things are or I should say, like, the framing of the episode's usually the shock factor. Like, how ridiculous can we make the show? But no, I think Rick was kind of the shock factor of this episode. So I guess we'll just kind of have to see how they're gonna handle that in the future. But it was definitely it's premiered with a bang. Like, good job, Rick and Morty.
Yeah. This was the episode to do this type of thing with. Yeah, it's great, crazy stuff. So, yeah, that's it. Let us know what you thought of the Rick and Morty premiere. If you're new to us, definitely subscribe to us on iTunes. If you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe to us on YouTube. We put all our podcasts on YouTube, audio only, with like a screenshot of the episode. You check us out at overlyanimated.com. Consider supporting us at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our patrons, especially our patron of the podcast. Today is Beatriz, aka Beatrix Lestrange. Thank you, Beatriz, for your continued support as always. We've got a bunch of random podcasts coming up. We cover Samurai Jack, so if that's happening this week,
whenever that airs.
Yeah, well, who knows? And we've got
that's the real April Fools.
Yeah, that is. We had a Steven Universe leak discussion can't put out today. I thought that'd be our only podcast today. I was wrong. And then though it came out. And yeah, a bunch of other stuff. You can check us out at overlyanimated.com. Subscribe to us overlyanimated.com/iTunes, and please consider giving us star ratings there. We really appreciate those. Last comments, Delaney.
Oh, I had one while you were talking and then I forgot it. It's fine.
Okay. Well, wubba-lubba-dub-dub or whatever, right?
Yeah, wubba-lubba-dub-dub.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, that's it for this. I don't know. That was the thing that happened tonight. Interesting.
Yep. It's like, hey, please don't do this again, but it was fine.
Yep. Interesting. So,
cartoon shows should not drop like Beyonce.
If any cartoon is Beyonce, it would be Rick and Morty.
It is Rick and Morty.
Yeah. So that makes it, yeah. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.